Okay, so with us, Isabella.
In Mexico, 300,000 people died due to COVID-19 pandemic. Hi, I'm Isabella, and I can talk by everyone that during pandemic we all had a bad time. Some of us were depressed, some of us were tired of online classes, some of us were desperate that we had to stay in our houses 24/7, and sadly, some others lost their loved ones, which was my case. Uh, so I had a really strong relationship with my grandmother. A long part of my life, I lived with her, well, also with my grandfather, and she used to take care of my sister and me when we were very young, because sometimes my parents have to leave the house or whatever another situation. There always was my grandmother. She was a very loving, caring, and protective woman. She always see for our good, and she also made like the most delicious dishes I have ever tasted. And I think that this is very common in Mexican abuelitas. I think that if right now I ask some of you that if your grandma make a very delicious dish, I assure you can tell me that yeah, your grandma make like the best dishes, but mine, she was like the best. I remember that the plate that I loved the most was her mole poblano. And at the time, there's no mole poblano that I have tasted that is like the same as hers. So, okay, at the beginning of the pandemic, I wasn't even worried about all the situation because at the time, my family and all my loved ones were like clean, out of COVID. But in March 2021, we received the news that my grandma had COVID. So at the beginning, it wasn't that serious. So she had like caring at home, like a nurse, and my one of my uncles give her like the medicines, and we took like the all necessary procedures, you know. But the weeks were passing, and the situation wasn't improving for the better. So my father and his brothers decided that the best option in the moment was to go to the hospital. I remember when my father talked with us about all the situation, I was feeling desperate, I was feeling very sad, and also I was feeling helpless because I can do anything. I was in my home, I was like, my mother told me that I need to start praying, and I did. But I feel like very frustrated because overall nothing was getting better. And at that moment, I realized that this situation was not happening only just to me. It happened to many families in Mexico and in the world. And that's where it hit to me that that was a real problem, and it was just nothing like a simple flu or whatever. And I realized that as a society, we needed more empathy during rough times, because as I was thinking that, oh, it's whatever, it wasn't. It was really very tough, and it wasn't easy, and also it wasn't cheap. The hospital, the medicines, everything, it wasn't cheap. So yeah, I started to feel very sad, very depressed. But as I told before, my mother told me to start praying, and I did. I prayed all night during like a month for my grandma to get better, and I started to feel like a little hope. But in my soul, very deep, I knew that that wasn't gonna help. And yeah, we received the call that sadly my grandma passed away. and I feel like very frustrated because, as I told, I can't do anything at the time. But now I see like in a different point of view. I think this like a way to honor her and remember all the great things that she did for us, for her family, for everyone. So yeah, at the time I wasn't even able to tell this story without feeling sad or without crying. But I took a very long process to process my grief, and now I think like I can honor her with all of her memories with me and my sister and all my family. But I don't want this to be a sad story. I want this to see this as a reflection, as a reflection that every day we have the opportunity to leave a mark on others without realizing it. So I invite you to stay with the people you love. It can be your family, your parents, your brothers, your partner, or even, I don't know, your pet. But we always have the opportunity to leave mark on others, and I invite you to do so. And yeah, I would like to finish with that. Thank you.